There we go. Hi, everyone. Sorry about that. Hey, JR. Thanks for joining tonight. I saw Linda signed off already, but I'm glad to hear that her biopsy went well and her reports came back good. Hey, Colorado Pack Rat. How are you? And Treasure, both of you, thanks for joining. And Dewey, of course. Can't forget Dewey. And Weed Eater, thank you for being here tonight. Hi, Bella. How are you? All the way from Melbourne, Australia. Yeah, the idea of remote Alaska is what drew me into. Hey, Daniel, how are you? How is everyone tonight? I hope you guys are all doing well. Timothy, I just started. I literally just turned the camera on, so you're not late. But I hope everyone is doing well tonight. I myself am doing fantastic. Hey, Happy Chappy, how are you doing? Yep, from the very beginning, I literally just signed on. Hey, Panhandle, nice of you to be here tonight. Hey, Adam and Phyllis, how are you guys? You never let me down, Timothy. I love all of you guys. You guys are fantastic. I'm glad you guys are all here, keeping me company on this late Saturday night. Hey, Vicky. Nice of you to be here as well. I appreciate it. Hey, Leonie, how are you? From Auckland, New Zealand. Weed Eater's having a conversation with Dewey about how they got their YouTube channel name. I'd like to know how I look on the big screen. I'm afraid to know. Hey, Weed Eater. Hey there, Shari. How are you? Happy Sunday to you too. Hi, Charlotte and Dave. Good morning. There you go. There's Alaska Cut the Cords channel. And there's Angie and David. Hello, guys. How are you doing tonight? Good. Lots of projects going on here. Yes, lots of projects. Same here. I'm busy girl. Good morning, IB's Life. How are you doing? Your cat just woke you up. Your cat knew it was time to get on the live. Smart kitty. Larger than life on your 65-inch in 4K. Oh, that's scary. And larger than life. That might be too much. Hey, Mike, how are you doing today? Oh, thank you, Happy Chappy. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you to say. I would show you Kenai, but I can't really move the camera because the cord doesn't allow me to move it. And he is right here on the floor behind me, snoring away. I'm going to, though, get another camera, and I'm going to put it on the floor and attach it so I can have a split screen, and we'll do Kenai Cam when I do the live streams. But right now, I can't exactly show you. I'm surprised the microphone doesn't pick up his snoring. Hey there, Mark. How are you doing? 36 degrees. Yeah, yesterday I think it was 35 here. And yeah, it was really nice outside. 35 is a comfortable temperature out here for sure. And there's Angie and David's channel link for anybody who's interested. Thank you, Dewey, for doing that. Oh, thanks. I'll be sure to give him a hug for you, Weed Eater. You're welcome, Timothy. I know that he doesn't like to be on the camera, so I'm going to have to hide the camera someplace where he doesn't see it. But he's always just sleeping, so it might be kind of boring too. Hey, Mike, what's up? Lol. Hey, Billy Bob. Nice of you to be here tonight. Actually, Mike, it should be, what's up? Oh boy. Hey, Mike, I have a video, something that's going to come up in a upcoming video that I'm going to surprise you with. I'm not saying just yet what it is. Hey, KMD, how are you doing? Straight question straight up, but can we get straight pet mints in Alaska from a butcher or somewhere? Straight. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that question is, Happy Chappy. I'm hoping somebody else knows what you're asking for. Hey there, Two Bears. Nice of you to join. And Bella, what are you saying here? I've been into Alaska and Canada for many years, trying to work out the best places to go from Australia as a solo traveler. Alaska is fantastic. You can go just about anywhere in Alaska and you can't go wrong. Hey there, Lindsay. How are you doing tonight? What are you doing this every night now? No. I think everyone would get tired of me if that was the case. Twice a week. Twice a week. That's what I'm limiting it to. Um, sorry, no additives, just minced meat, no rice, etc. Oh, for the pets? That I don't know. I honestly, I've only fed Kenai one brand of dog food, and it's hard to get that here, to be honest with you. But what I feed him is Nutro, and it's a limited ingredient, so it only has 10 ingredients, no grain, so there's no oats or rice or anything like that in it. It's um, the type that he eats is beef and sweet potato, and he loves it. Yeah, I've tried to feed him something else when I first got him that my dad had been feeding his pets, and he did not like it. So I got that, and it's worked out well for him. Hey, Jamie, nice of you to join from Fort Myers, Florida. Only if you make your own. Yep. It's hard to, I know there's supposed to be like a big dog store in Fairbanks, but what I've found is the pet stores here, the Petco and PetSmart, they really don't have a huge selection. It's hard for them to get inventory in, and they don't cater to big dogs, which is unfortunate. I'm sure I was in an American in past life. Oh, thank you for the compliment too. That's funny. I think many of us think we were Australian at one point, though. 3 a.m. Well, thanks for joining nonetheless, Two Bears. I know you're probably missing out on your sleep, but at least it's Sunday tomorrow and you'll hopefully be able to sleep in. You had 7 degrees Celsius yesterday, about 45 Fahrenheit. It was so nice. Yeah, I bet you felt like you were in a heat wave. A foot of snow on Friday, so it made the dirt road slush. Oh yeah, freezing overnight, so slippery in the mornings again. Yeah, so the road that I live on is still packed in snow. I would imagine that there's probably a good 6 inches to a foot of snow pack on the road, even though they plow it. So when the melt comes, it's going to be a big mess, that's for sure. You're doing fairly well all alone. My neck fine. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's the worst. When you get a kink in your neck or you get a, right there in your spine. Oh, that's the worst. I'm glad you're feeling better though. Oh, I don't like neck injuries or neck anything. I joke that I was probably Marie Antoinette in a past life. Because anytime I see anything with a neck, I cringe. Oh my goodness. Good morning, Marianne. Nice of you to join tonight. This live was originally for overseas viewer. Yes, thanks for explaining, Dewey. I appreciate that. Whoever wanted, but mostly that time worked better for the UK, Australia. Yep. Hey, Steve, I owe you a big apology. I did not see that you were having your live until right before I jumped on this one, so I completely missed it, and now I owe you big time because I said I'd be there. So I am so sorry, but if you give me a little bit more advance notice, I will make sure that I am there with bells on, as the saying goes. I seen your video. Stay away from that ladder. I know about your hobby with the steps. Shh, it's a secret, Mike. It's a secret. I thought there was only big dogs in Alaska. You would think, but unfortunately, even if there are, I don't know how they're getting anything because the stores don't seem to care much for them, in my opinion, anyhow. Yeah, there's not a whole lot, like I said. And there is another store in, I think it's in Wasilla, but I don't remember what it's called. I'm trying to remember off my head. I think it's like, oh, I don't know. I can picture it, but the words aren't coming to mind. 37 degrees in Melbourne. That's 37 Celsius, correct, Bella? Very hot yesterday. Yeah, I would think. I'm not sure what 37 translates to in Fahrenheit, but I would imagine it's quite warm. Australia is awesome. Been there a couple of times. Would love to see the interior. I just added love for you there, Adam and Phyllis. Emphasize on like. I would like to see Australia. I think that'd be pretty cool. And there's Steve's channel for everybody. If you want to go check out his channel, and then if he would be so kind to tell us when the next live stream is, we can not only help promote it, but I will know in advance, and then I can make sure I'm on the live stream. Oh my goodness. Spring air here in the UK, very wet today, about 8 Celsius at the moment. Yeah, I know the rains are coming, but we're still getting snow here. I'm actually kind of jealous of all the rain, the mist, the fog that you're probably getting there in the UK. While I love snow, I do like the rain and fog as well. Fresh caught fish is the best dog food. I am hoping to get wow, my brain really went blank. I don't know what they're called now. There's a type of fish here in Alaska. They're small, skinnier fish. I don't know why my brain just went blank, but yeah, you catch them in the droves. I mean, just a net full of them, and that's what I'd like to catch and make dog food for Kenai out of. DMSO topical on your skin. It goes through and gets very hot and relieves pain. Very cheap at the store. I'm going to actually write that down because DMSO for neck pain, for pain. Topical. I'm always looking for stuff like that. I used to have this capsaicin rub that I loved, and the one that I was using isn't made anymore. So thank you, Sherry, for letting everybody know that. Mulligan. I think those fish are called mulligans. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. No roast tonight. Oh, I'm sorry, Happy Chappy. Cauliflower fries and mozzarella bites for dinner. That still sounds good. I do love cauliflower. That is a favorite vegetable of mine. I have a bulging disc in my neck that caused a pinched nerve. Oh, that's worse. That's even worse. Oh my goodness. Small dogs outside are not much more than eagle bait. Yeah. And I'm amazed at how many people let their cats roam free here. Because I would think the same thing. The coyotes and the fox and the eagles would just take the cat. But everybody seems to let their cats just wander. Seems weird to me. Bloody hot. Yeah, it sounds bloody hot. Just wait till you see the video, Mike. You're going to be so impressed with what I found. Oh my goodness, pimped by a loan. It should actually be Stood up by alone because I've stood you up twice now. Oh my goodness. 98.6. That's warm. Oh my goodness, that's warm. Considering that when it was 35 degrees out here, I was outside in just summer dress and a sweater. I can't imagine if it was 98 degrees here, I would be melting in a pool. Free accommodation here. Why, thanks, Bella. I appreciate that. Yes, it appears that way, that Steve schedules his lives 5 minutes before. Steve, I'll get you in touch with my agent. Just kidding. I don't have an agent. I I don't think I'd ever be that popular. Anybody with pain, look into a product called Willow Balm. It comes a toothpaste-like tube that's white and green. For me, it works great for me. I have taken white willow, as an aspirin alternative, and it did nothing. I didn't feel anything as far as any level of relief. Even your sweats. Oh my goodness, that's pretty bad. No, not pike. They're little fish. Little fish. They're like a giant sardine, but they're not. They're not even as big as a trout. They're skinny little fish, not pike. I sent an email very early, very early today. I haven't had a chance to be on my email until like an hour, not even an hour ago. I would say 30, 45 minutes ago, right before this. And then I saw it and I was like, oh, I'm such a bad person. So I do owe you an apology nonetheless. Yeah, I do want to see how the new fridge is working too. I want to see how everything's holding up. But I need to go watch some more videos. I've been so busy this week, I haven't hardly done anything. Hi, Charles. Thanks for joining. Pinks. Nope. But pinks would make good dog food as well. And no, it's not perch either, Mike. It begins with an M. I know it begins with an M. Oh, I wish I could remember what it's called. Down south in the UK. Smelt. Maybe smelt, Billy Bob. That might be it. But for some reason, the word mulligan comes to mind. I'm really going to look it up now. I'll have to mention it in the upcoming video. Hooligan. Yes, there you go. Thanks, Lindsay. That's exactly it. That is exactly it. That is the fish I was talking about. It's a really oily fish. And like I put oil on Kenai's dog food to keep his coat nice and shiny and to keep his skin from getting dry. Thank you, Lindsay. That is exactly what it is Hooligan. About the candlefish or smelt in the southern states. Oh, that's interesting. Candlefish. I've never even heard of candlefish. Devil's Club salve. That sounds familiar. Hi, the winch. Nice of you to join, by the way, too. We have Devil's Club here, but you wouldn't want to touch it. It'll leave you with a nasty, itchy sting. DMSO isn't good for you. Uh-oh. I want to know what the DMSO stands for. Oops, press the wrong button. Down south, Isle of Wight. It's clear blue skies and 8 degrees Celsius. Oh, thank you. That helped me. I understand what you were saying. I'm going to get a little chart that I'm going to put behind my computer so I can do the conversions quickly without having to look it up from Celsius to Fahrenheit. I know there's a trick to do it quickly. I just don't know what it is. What about Tiger Balm? Yeah, I've used Tiger Balm. That actually works pretty well. That's for sure. Hooligan is a fish. Is the fish. Yes. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate that. Because yeah, I could not remember, but thanks to you and Lindsay, now I know exactly what it is. I have 2 small dogs. The hawk tried once to get one of them, but they actually scared it away by barking and went after it. My son was right there also. Thankfully, only happened once. So when I moved in here, the previous owners had had chickens, and I had asked them, if they had any trouble with bears or any other predators trying to get into the chicken coop, and they said no, only the owls. The I think it's like a screech owl of some type. They said tries to get the chickens, which I thought that was interesting that the eagles didn't, the bears, lynx, nothing did. I'm not telling Mike, it's a secret. You'll have to wait till the video. I'm not telling you what video either, though. You have to just keep checking back until you figure it out. No, I'm kidding. It'll be in an upcoming video, I promise. The fridge is working awesome. About 3 weeks to a 20-pound cylinder. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Uh, yeah. Yep. Hooligan. I'm old and used to beautiful women standing me up. I'll take the compliment, but I didn't mean to stand you up. That's for sure. Have a big cat too, Maine Coon, British short hair, and only had an encounter with a snake, the viper. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you were telling me about how you have vipers there. That scares me. I'm so glad we don't have snakes here. I couldn't handle that. Hello, Linda. Nice of you to join. Hopefully you're enjoying all our crazy antics here as we banter back and forth amongst each other. Um, I ain't old, but I'm used to it. Oh my goodness. Same here in North Queensland, Australia. Uh, little dogs. We have eagles that will take them also, and we had 38 degrees Celsius here last week. Not fun. I feel sorry for all of you with your heat wave. At least when it's cold, you can throw on more layers, but when it's hot like that, you can only go so far. Yes, thanks, Winch. Everyone's going to be correcting me now on the fish. They're going to be like, here it is. Dogs, not digs. Yeah, I got it. I use icy hot with lidocaine for neck and back. After 2 back surgeries, don't want any more. Oh yeah, no, that would not be fun. Mackerel. I've eaten mackerel. I don't even know how big of a fish a mackerel is or what it even looks like. Because I've only had it served in a restaurant. I'm gonna have to look that up because I actually don't even know anything about mackerel. Yep, 2 bears. That is correct. Mullets. No, I haven't seen one of those here, believe it or not. You would think that you would find somebody with a mullet here, but I've yet to find it. Hello, Martina. How are you? I can't sleep. I'm super happy I saw you live. I'm super happy you're here. I'm glad everyone is. Uh, I'm not sure if someone answered Happy Chappy about the mullet. Uh, if you don't know what a mullet is, it's a haircut and it has a famous saying that goes with it, which is business in the front and party in the back, because it's literally a guy's haircut. Well, I guess women could wear it too, but it's like short hair in the front and then it's like kind of shaved on the sides and then it's long hair in the back. So, it's heavy on top and heavy in the back, but nothing on the sides. Um, it's kind of a funny haircut. Can't Hi, Rob and Sarah. How are you guys doing? Can't stay. Have to be up early to make bread before you head to town. Well, bring me a loaf or send me a loaf. But I'm glad you popped in nonetheless, Rob. I really appreciate it. Oh, sorry, Dewey. HM, they look similar. Hooligan, mulligan. It's all the same. One I was born with. Oh my goodness. Uh, the only hooligans we have here are humans. That's funny. I just want the fish hooligans. I don't want any other kind of hooligans or shenanigans for that matter. Everyone in Alaska has a dog named Kenai. That's because we all dreamed about coming here and we all know how beautiful Kenai is. Hey, Jerry Kirk, how are you from Red Bluff, California? Hooligan, no H. Hey, David. Oh, so is that how it's actually said? Is hooligan? It's not actually said hooligan, so you don't pronounce the hard H sound. There I go, mispronouncing another Alaskan word. I bet they can be smelt if you leave them sit for long. Yeah, I bet they be smelty. Jerry, is that Canada? No, that's California, Red Bluff, California, Bella. But I could see how you could think it was Canada from the CA, but yeah, it's California. At least I think. Watch, Jerry's going to correct me and I'll be wrong. Arnica cream is great stuff. I do have some arnica cream as well, but I've never actually used it. So now I know. I'll try that the next time before I go buy something else again. Bulging discs are no laughing matter, though, that's for sure. The natives call the hooligan candlefish because they once dried them, burned them like a candle due to the high oil content. Oh, that totally makes sense. Yeah, because I did see that they're very oily. I occasionally run up to the meat house when I buy my steaks and pick up the German Shepherd, a mixture of cow hearts, livers. She loves them raw. Yep. I give Kenai raw beef bones. I don't cook them at all. Dimethyl sulfide. That doesn't sound like something. It sounds like a chemical compound, even though I'm sure it's not, but that's what it sounds like. Yep, Red Bluff, California. I'm glad I got it right. Hello, Delia. How are you doing? Glad you could be here. I used Tiger Balm for years. When I played hockey, I had a jar in my hockey bag. It works well. Yep. Tiger Balm is pretty good, actually. Like I said, uh, oxide. Oh, I see what you're saying. I got to go back up and find your comment. Mike is a scare. It's a secret. Oh my goodness. Dewey, wasn't that from uh, that Mel Brooks space movie, Spaceballs or something like that? That was a funny movie for sure. Just about anything Mel Brooks did was funny. My favorite treat is fried hooligan eggs. I have never even thought about that. I like roe for sure. So I can only imagine that would be pretty tasty. We have an 11-month-old Cavapoo puppy named Denali after my love of Alaska. A Cavapoo is a cross between a Cavalier King Charles and a poodle. I bet he's a cutie. I bet he's absolutely adorable. He or she. I shouldn't assume. Oh, hi, Philip. How are you? You're not late. I only started a little bit ago. You're perfectly fine. You did a yoga bara. I was so busy I didn't get anything done. That sounds like me too. I was busy this week. I do feel like I got more accomplished this week though. Way more than I did last week, that's for sure. Lord, it gets 40 degrees Fahrenheit here and I'm melting. I'm not made for warm weather. Yeah, I think after you get to Alaska and you get acclimated to the temperature, which happens really quickly, at least it did for me, the heat, you just can't take it anymore. It's just too much. Only about 25 minutes. Yep. Yeah, I haven't been on very long at all. No mackerel in Alaska. The water is too cold. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I was wondering, maybe somebody can answer this question, is are there lobsters in the waters off Alaska? I don't think so because I've not ever heard anybody talk about catching lobster up here, but I'm just wondering, why? I know there's lobsters in the Atlantic, but no lobsters on the Pacific. No perch in Alaska either. Oh, interesting. Mackerel is good bait for swordfish. So mackerel must be a warm water fish then. You'd be better bringing a loaf tomorrow. Mackerel is one of the few fish that I like. Used to fish in the fjords with my brother when I was a child. We sold them to our neighbors and my father put it on the grill. Yeah, I had, I don't even remember how the mackerel was fixed, but I remember it was good tasting. I've not actually seen it, as a whole fish before. So I'm not even sure how big of a fish it is or anything about it. No, my ladder is not free yet. It is still buried in those 3 feet of snow. So it's going to be back there for a while unless I can get, you know, one of my other ladders free and up on the side where I can climb up. I'm not getting on the roof. It's just going to have to be what it is. But I'm not too worried about the chimney fire starting. But I am keeping a very, oh, mullet is a fish also? I had no idea. Now I have to look that one up too. Um, Sorry, I got distracted. I'm like a dog chasing squirrels. But I'm not too worried about the chimney fire. I'm just keeping a very close eye on it. One thing I've noticed this year compared to last year is that I don't have the creosote buildup inside the wood box, the part of the stove that I had last year. Last year I got so much buildup on the door, the glass of the door, that I couldn't even see the chimney or the fire at times. This year I've not had any of that. So I'm not quite as worried. But last year I also cleaned the chimney in, midwinter. And here I've only cleaned it in October. So a little concerned, but not totally concerned. Yeah, way over my head. That's pretty easy to do though. Um, yeah, Dewey's always making a joke about some comedian that has puppets. I can never think of the guy's name. Um, but he's got that one puppet and he's always talking about how it goes right over the guy's head. That's me. It's He's always like doing that with the puppet, and Dewey's always like, "Yeah, you don't get it either." I'm like, "No, I don't." Smoked mackerel is also nice on toast. Oh my goodness, that sounds good. I like to do sardines on toast. I think that's actually delicious. You don't want anybody to be around while you're eating it. Not anything I would ever eat at work, but it's really tasty. The H is silent, like the Q in fish. When my daughter was learning to spell as a child, I used to ask her where the silent Q was as she was spelling out her words, and she played along for a long time, and then she finally was like, okay, I'm done with this. There's no Q in these words. Thanks, Linda. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you caught me live as well, and I appreciate you being here. A dozen eggs for a loaf of bread. I'm not sure who's getting the better buy here. Um, I did see the price of eggs in Anchorage. Was it Anchorage? No, Glen Allen. Yeah, the price of eggs in Glen Allen compared to the price of eggs in Valdez was double. Valdez, it was like $7 a dozen, $7 for 18 eggs. It was $14 in Glen Allen for 18 eggs. I was just like, oh my goodness, I'm definitely going to Valdez to do my grocery shopping if I have to do any, quick pickups. because that was ridiculous. Mackerel is an oily fish, seawater fish, lots and lots around the Isle of Wight. Oh, very interesting. Steve's used to Steve and Mike are both used to me being not the sharpest tool in the shed. Let's just put it that way. Hello, Rainey. How are you doing? Red Bluff is California. That's what I thought. I was pretty certain about that. Mackerel is what I'm thinking of. Nope, it was Hooligan or Hooligan. How old is Mr. Kenai? Mr. Kenai is 10 years old. He is 10 years old now. Yep. But he's still like a puppy. He's a healthy boy. Good night, Bella. I'm glad you joined, and I hope that you'll be on the future lives. I really appreciate you being here. Tiger Mom is the bomb. The Hooligan in Cotton Rivers, freshwater in the spring. Yeah, that's what I figured. So I'm not exactly sure. Is it April? Is it May that they are, on their run? And do they run throughout all of Alaska, or is it just, certain rivers that they're coming into? I don't know. Dog pronouns now, right? I thought about that when I said I shouldn't assume. I was like, wait a minute. Maybe I've been reading the news too much. It's starting to sink into my head. You're right. Kenai is beautiful. I lived in Southeast Alaska for 23 years. Live in the high desert now. Yeah, Southeast Alaska. Lived in the high desert now. Kenai is beautiful. Kenai is absolutely beautiful. I think most of Alaska is absolutely beautiful. No lobster, though. That's what I wonder, because you never hear anybody talk about lobster here. Good morning, Quantum. How are you doing? I appreciate you joining tonight. No lobster that I know of, but we get the best crab. Yeah, so that's another question I have. I heard I don't know, a couple months ago or whatever, that the crabbing season, they called it off, said no crab. But that's only commercial crabbing, or can you get a hunting or fishing license to go catch crab, to put out crab pots? Because I would like to get some crab, and I don't want to pay, $100 to $200 for a pound of crab. I think that's ridiculous. Hey, Homestead, how are you doing? Know me, my homie. Delia, I'm glad you're doing well. I'm worried about your fireplace. Don't want it to catch on fire. Yep, I don't want it to catch on fire either. I think I'll be fine. I'm just being very cautious. There are lobsters in some areas in the Pacific Ocean. Oh, that is interesting. Yeah, because you only really ever hear about it in, on the East Coast or around Australia, with the crayfish and what have you, but you never hear about it on the West Coast. DMSO is a clear, odorless liquid inexpensively produced as a byproduct of the paper industry, and it is widely available in the U.S. as a solvent, but it's a medical use currently restricted by the FDA. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I never even heard of it before. Hey, know me. We have the Gulf Stream along the coast of Norway. Our fish is our biggest export after oil. I believe it. I definitely believe it. To the palliative treatment of intersterile, I can't read that word, cystitis, and to certain experimental applications. Very interesting. Yep, there's Nomi's link for everybody who's interested in his channel. I suggest you check it out. I love Nomi's channel, as I love Cut the Cord and Steve's channel and just about all the channels that I follow. Curmudgeon Inn and all of them. Biloxi bacon. Oh my goodness. We don't have lobster, but we do have burbot, and it's dang close. Yeah, I think it's like you boil it in sugar water or something like that, and then use the clarified butter, and they call it poor man's lobster. I think lobster is salinity. I used to fish Atlantic lobster when I was a kid in Nova Scotia at 40 cents a pound. Does that say 40 cents a pound? And a license costs 25 cents. Good luck with that now, right? You can't even, there's no way. I know they used to feed lobster to the prisoners, back in the 17 and the 1800s, and they called them the rats of the sea until they started to figure out it actually tastes good. The online job hunting is actually going okay. So I went on a couple of interviews this week, and can you hear Kenai? He's dreaming and his claws are scraping on the floor. But I did go on a couple interviews this week and they went well. I hope that one of them pans out, but I'm not going to say anything until I actually get one, and then we'll figure out, if it's really the right job or not. I use Yes, that's what I do, is ash on a wet paper towel to clean the creosote or the soot off the glass of the wood stove, and it works well. It works very, very well. Less creosote sounds like you might be burning better seasoned wood. Yes. Yeah, the wood this year was definitely way drier than it was last year. Like I said, last year's was because we got that torrential rain right at the time. Jeff Dunham, that's correct. Uh, Torrential rain right when all the wood delivered. Yeah, but thanks, JR. That is exactly the comedian, Jeff Dunham. I'm surprised, Dewey, that she didn't put it up on the screen, because she's the one that's always referencing it. Oh my goodness. No perch in Alaska. Well, I'm not moving to Alaska now. We have a lot of them here. They're good, and their eggs are too. Two bears. Is that really all it took, was no perch? That's sad. Oh my goodness. Wood stove pipe is straighter, so the creosote won't build up as fast. That's kind of what I was thinking too. And I really think if I do have the much creosote, it's really going to just be at the very top of the chimney, where it's the coldest, and allowing all that carbon to collect in there as creosote. But I, I mean, I keep a close eye on it. I'm always like listening to the chimney. If I hear any pinging in there, I just, close off the firebox, just let it simmer as opposed to being a roaring heat. So hopefully I'm doing a good job with it. I remember the series Deadliest Catch, but I don't remember them catching lobster. Of course, I didn't really watch it because I've not really had television for a very long time. Peanut, thank you, Dewey. Yes, that is the puppet that you're always mocking me about. Battered cod and chips. Yep, that sounds good too. When is Alaska king crab season? That is the other thing that I want to know. And welcome, AFB management. I appreciate you being here tonight. I think it's in the fall and the winter time, because I know they're cold season catch. It's not that they canceled it because the crab are dying out. Oh, that's sad. Now Tyson is laying off people, so chicken will go up again. Oh my goodness. Everything is going up in price. It's so ridiculous. You better get your chickens in the spring. Yeah, I think I'm going to do ducks if I do anything, but same there. Next thing you know, there'll be something happening there. You have a nice day, Marna from sunny South Africa. Hello, Marna. Nice of you to join today. I appreciate you being here. King Crab is closed until further notice. Oh my goodness. It's 2 dozen in Wasilla for a dozen eggs. $2 a dozen and was sell it for a dozen. $2. I'm pretty sure you meant, no, that can't be right. That can't be right. I have good friends just out of Glen Ellen. That's nice. Glen Ellen's a nice town. It's funny though, because you drive through it and you don't really see a whole lot of the town. A lot of the town's actually hidden back off the main road. So you don't actually see a whole lot of what's actually there. Are we driving you to drink? No. Just water. uh, I'm not used to talking so much, and so I do wind up getting a little tickle in my throat when I've been talking for this long. $3 a dozen in Fairbanks at Fred Meyer's. There is no way you guys are paying $2 and $3 for eggs at the grocery store. That's crazy. I'm getting robbed on this side of the state. Hey there, Bill. Thanks for joining. Would you start over? I just got here. No, but will you start yours over, because I missed your live stream as well. So I owe you a big apology also, because yeah, I wasn't really available when you did yours. I apologize. And I definitely wanted to join. So I have big apologies to make tonight. Prepared, not just prepping. Thank you for joining from Colorado. I'm glad that you're here. How is Colorado these days? I hope it's good. Wow, 10, that's insane. How far away are you from the ocean? Like an hour or more, without being specific and being safe in details. I am 2 hours, 2 hours, 2.5. Yeah, something like that. From Valdez. So yeah. Yes, eggs in San Diego are $7. Makes me want to raise chickens while I live in an apartment. Maybe you could do quail. They're good apartment birds, I understand. Hello, Aziz. How are you doing? From the Netherlands. Nice of you to join tonight. I appreciate you being here. 350 miles from the ocean where you're at. That's because you're in the interior. Hooligan show up in Turner Arm in April. That's what I was thinking, but I wasn't sure. Now I'm going to have to plan a trip out in April to go hooligan fishing. Fish never run. They're very safety minded. Well, that makes one of us. Run in 20 miles south of Girdwood. That river is a huge area for hooligan and very popular dip netting for them. Yep, I would think so. That's what I've seen before, is people dip netting for them. Yeah. Wasn't that last year that he did that video? I've not seen if they've done one. Yeah, it was last year that they did it. And I think Nutty New did one, and there was another person who did a video on it as well. Fish are all about school safety. My goodness. Why did they kill crab season? It sounded like because they're dying off, is what Lindsay was saying. There is Bill's channel link. Thank you, Dewey, for doing that. So everyone can go check out Bill's channel. The crabs are dying out and they want the numbers to come back up. Yep. That's a reason why they close off a lot of the subsistence hunting, whether it's state or federal. They'll close them off because the numbers are too low. So they'll close them early or not open them at all. This is called ivy fake. It's fake ivy. It's just a plastic plant. Yep. I can't keep plants alive. The only reason my children survived is because they could tell me when they were hungry. But plants, I don't pay attention to them, and then they wither away. Oh my goodness. The snow came off the roof like a freight train, woke me up, or I would have missed you alone. Well, I'm glad something brought you my way, Nomi. Just don't be standing under the eaves when that happens. You can get a subsistence license. I forgot how much it allows you to catch. I'm going to have to look into it for sure. Because if I could make his dog food as opposed to buying it, I would. Because last year when I bought his dog food, a 40-pound bag was like $60. Now that lasts a while, but still, it's way too much money to be paying when you're buying. I think a bag lasts him about 1.5 months. And, when you're buying for the whole winter at a time, it's a lot of money. Apologize, I keep drinking on camera, but again, my throat gets dry. I love saying hello tonight, way past your bedtime. We'll wake up tomorrow and wait for new videos. Thank you, Linda. I will have a video coming out very soon because I need to do that spam cooking video. So I will get that one edited and out for everybody. I went to the local bar tonight and couldn't get in. There was a line waiting. Unfortunately, line considered of a moose standing at the door. Oh my goodness. That's typical for you. Is there anywhere to do a foraging course in Alaska? I have books, but I'm still iffy about going. So based on pictures, yes. Yeah, go to Homestead channel, and he actually takes people out and teaches them how to forage and how to do, mushroom hunts and things like that, and even how to do some builds of geodesic domes and aircrete, structures and rocket stoves. Yep, Homestead is your guy right there. Hey, John, how are you doing? Alaska spiny lobster, which is found in the Aleutian Islands in southeastern Alaska. Rock lobster is found in the Kodik Island, and southern rock lobster, which is found in Prince William Sound. Wow, that's pretty cool. I'm glad you signed in, John, tonight. If for no other reason than I get to talk to you, but also because you're a wealth of information. That's a lot of different lobsters. I'm going to have to look at what's involved in catching them. I'm sure it's just lobster pots like it is crab pots, but as far as the regulations. Last Frontier Homestead, I've seen that a few times in my life, and it's not worth the wait. Yeah, I wouldn't think I'd want to be in line with the moose, that's for sure. Thank you, Linda. The job hunt is going well so far. I had a couple interviews, but keeping my fingers crossed. Yeah, I want to know how, Bill, how your live stream went, and Steve's Rock Lobster, great song. Oh my goodness. I want to know how Steve's live stream went too, since I missed it. And there is John in Alaska's channel link. Thank you, Dewey, for that. I waited, got several pictures, and went live on my channel. Even got a chance to pet it. I don't think I want to be that close to a moose. Not that I'm aware of. Honestly, a Google search might help you find what you want, though. Oh, you were asking about foraging. Yep. I'm reading the comments and I get lost. I forget what we were just talking about. Oh my goodness. I was over by your place at the bar tonight. Moose was hanging out outside the bar. Don't you hate that when you get a song stuck in your head and you can't get it to go away? Don't forget. Oh, thank you, Adam, Phyllis. I appreciate that. I do appreciate it. Yeah, Gnome says that he wasn't supposed to be at the bar. That would keep me out of the bar for sure, seeing a moose there. Hi, Sparkly. How are you doing? Heavy restrictions on our crabbing as well. I'm about 30 miles from the beach. Yeah, it must be uh, something major going on with them that if they're putting restrictions everywhere. You should build a roaring heat from time to time to cook the creosote out of the chimney. A good fire will dry it out and fall back into the firebox. So I have been doing really hot fires all winter long. Um, and if it wasn't for the windstorm and seeing the creosote, on the ground from the windstorm and looking at the chimney with some binoculars, I wouldn't possibly or be probably be as worried as I am. Um, but yeah, that creosote just kind of makes me a little bit cautious that thinks, makes me think I should be cognizant of it if nothing else. That's one of the joys of living on that side of the state close to everybody is you guys all can get together and go hang out. Lord, I need land. I can get chickens and such, and then I eat mostly chicken. Yep. Yeah, having land and the availability to grow your own meat and food is a big, big plus, I think, for people. At least, I know for me, the vegetables are not that I'm a vegetarian or anything because I do love meat, but I don't know that I'll ever really do my own livestock. I want to, but there's part of me that says I want to do too many things away from the property to really do it. Three Bears has eggs for 99 cents a dozen. I'm getting robbed. I'm telling you, I'm getting robbed. $2.79 a dozen at Albertsons in South Oregon. Oh my goodness. Any signs of bears on property? Not yet. I haven't seen anything yet, but I know they're starting to wake up. But I've not seen them here. When I went down to Valdez, I thought I saw one cross the road, but it was too far off, so I couldn't really tell if it was a bear or a moose that I saw going over the snowbank because I only saw it just as it cleared the snowbank. I didn't see it as it actually crossed the road. Yep, they're starting to come out of hibernation for sure, though. $8 a dozen. See, well, at least somebody's in my neck of the woods there. Not the way you probably want to be, but oh my goodness. Prices are too high. I pay more for eggs down south than $2 and $3 a dozen. Yeah, I mean, I think it was like $2 a dozen when I was back in Colorado. Um, so I'm surprised that you guys are still seeing prices like that here or anywhere. If no Alaskan king crab, then second choice Alaskan sockeye salmon. Yep. I will definitely be doing some salmon fishing this year as well. Weather can't make up its mind here. Yeah, I don't know what it's doing here either. Like when I started filming my last video, it was sunny outside, and then I came inside and did something, and when I turned around, it was big white fluffy flakes and gray skies outside again. Here on Cape Cod, um, farm fresh eggs from farmers are $5 a dozen, and pasture organic are $7 a dozen in Whole Foods. Crazy prices. Yeah, and these were just your generic eggs. These weren't any fancy eggs or organic or anything like that. And then pasture raised, just your standard run of the mill chicken egg was $14 for an 18 pack. Hi, Vicky. Nice of you to join tonight. I think you mentioned you'd like to be more remote. Do you prefer more land? Um, I like where I'm at. I like the amount of land that I personally own, which is 5 acres. But if I could be more remote, yeah, I would like more land. I would like um, enough land. how do I say this? I would like enough land that if my home were centered in the land, that if you were on the edge of my property, you couldn't even begin to see my cabin. That's how much land I would like. Um, Even if there were no trees on the property, that you couldn't see to the center of the land, but that's also not really feasible. Um, but yeah, I think if even if I just had another 5 acres someplace that was more remote than I even am here, I would be happy with that completely in the 20-mile river. So Eric and Ariel were dip netting in the 20-mile. That's interesting. I'm gonna write this down because I'm gonna make plans to go dip netting. Oh my goodness. Green crabs are moving in, very invasive and edible. I'm all about removing those invasive species. That's for sure. Green crabs. I've never even heard of green crabs. I've heard of blue crabs, soft shell crabs, but not green. Uh, Dogs have zoomies. Not sure what I missed. Just more giggling. A lot of giggling. Hey there, soldier. How are you doing tonight? I am well, and I hope you are too. Look at look at Dewey. She's so good. Like she helps me out so much that she like knows everybody's names, and I'm over here. Hey, soldier. Oh my goodness. Dewey's making me look bad. She should be even more tired than I am because it's what 2 o'clock in the morning her time. If you grab the salmon after they die from spawn, toss them into barrel, and rot makes great fertilizer for the garden too. Yep, I have seen that before as well. In fact, I used to buy some Alaska fish fertilizer when I lived in Colorado for my garden, for my roses, and I loved it. It was actually some of the best fertilizer I'd ever used. You can dip net 25 fish in 2 different areas, Copper River and Cook Inlet, so 50 fish that way. You can also do gill net, which is 500 fish. For the Hooligan, is that what you're saying, Numstead? Or are you saying for salmon? Um, for dip netting? Because where I live, I'm on the federal subsistence, and so for me, I believe it's 200 fish that I can dip net out of the Copper River. Um, and then if you're a family, you can get 500 fish, and then I think it's like an extra 10 or something like that for every additional family member that you have in your family or in your household, I should say. Just put a lid on it so you don't want it to smell bad. Yeah, I think it would smell horrific. You're welcome, Happy Chappy. Yeah, Numstead has a wealth of information. He can show you some pretty cool things. If you're into learning about plants that you can eat, check out Greg Oven's channel. Oh, I love Greg Oven. He's pretty cool, actually. Yeah, he is funny as hell as well, even though he doesn't try to be. He's a Canadian. Yeah. He actually reminds me of a gentleman that I used to work with, like in their looks more than anything. But yeah, Greg Oven is he's fun to watch. He's always up to something too. It's like, oh my goodness, what is he got himself into this time? Uh, Bill says his live stream went well. At one time, I had 23 people watching the stream. I did post as a video on my channel. That's awesome. I will definitely try to be on your future ones. I can't promise to be on all of them, but I will definitely try to be there. Um, I feel bad that I actually missed this one. It just didn't happen to work out with my timing, though, is the only thing. All this fish talk made me hungry. Oh my goodness. I'm always hungry. Hello, you told me how to pronounce your name the last time, and now I'm going to mispronounce it. Is it Tiny or is it Tine? Tine. I'm not sure if it's Tine or Tiny, but nonetheless, hello, and I'm glad you're here. And I am so sorry that I don't recall what you said as how to pronounce your name. I read your comment like the last time just so quickly. I think you had said it right as I was ending the live stream. How's your wood supply doing, and how many cords did you go through in a winter season? So last year I had 8 cords. I went through 7. This year I had 9 cords plus that extra one. And if I think about what I have now, I probably have 3, no, maybe 2.5 cords left, maybe. But I did burn through a lot of wood this year, like more wood than I did last year. And I think part of the reason is one was that Christmas weekend where I was out of oil. I burnt through so much wood in that weekend, more wood than I typically would burn even in a week's time. And then, um, I don't know. Last year, what I noticed is I wasn't building as big of fires in the wood stove. And this year I've been building bigger fires, because I've been doing more cooking on the wood stove this year than I did last year. So I wanted it to get hot enough to allow me to cook on there. So that could be part of it too. But I think that someone was asking me about, is the new roof insulated as well as what you had previously? And I really can't tell. I can't tell because of the fact that I've been burning more wood, because I've been using the oil burner more this year because I need to get it emptied, the oil tank it is, so that I can get the stand replaced. So it's really not going to be a good year to tell if it's really any more effective than the last one. But I don't know, maybe next year if things level out, I'll be able to get a better base. But I think just from judging it that it's probably as good, if not better, than the last roof that I had, because at least it's not leaking. Just had a snack. You guys are going to make me hungry now talking about snacks and being hungry. Open a jar of smoked salmon. Oh my goodness. I had that jar of smoked salmon that you gave me, Nomi, and it was delicious. It was absolutely delicious. Some of the best salmon I've had. I can't keep my salmon lint to smoke it. Oh my goodness. Why don't you see too many Irish lawyers? They can't seem to pass the bar. Oh my goodness. That is funny. Hello, Terry. Nice to you to join tonight. She says, here in my part of South Louisiana, we're getting into the upper 20s tonight, freezing to us, but warm front for you. Yes, this is definitely true. I should check and see what the what the temperature is actually here today. Oh my goodness, my phone does not want to cooperate. Let's see. I'm about the same here. It's about 20 degrees, it's saying here tonight. So not too warm and not too cold tonight, which is nice. But when it's this warm in the outside, the cabin is like super, super warm. So it'll be no need to really use the wood stove tonight. Happy belated St. Patty's Day to you too, Mike. And anybody else for that matter. Oh my goodness. Aaron Gobra. Are you going to how are you going with your meat supply? I know you weren't super happy, but are moving through it. Yeah, I'm moving through it. And it's been hit and miss. So the cuts, I would say that they were really small portions. So if you wanted to serve somebody a serving size, some of them weren't even a deck of card size cuts. And then the other thing is that there's a lot of silver skin, a lot of gristle in the meat, and even if there isn't, the meat, some of the cuts are really, really tough. And then I've had a couple of them, from the same cow, supposedly, where the flavor was phenomenal and the meat was tender. So yeah, I really, it's hit and miss with the beef purchase, but I don't know. I can't all be good. Is what I keep trying to tell myself. So hopefully, as I keep moving through it, it'll get better. But I'm eating a fair amount of it. I'm going to start canning some of it though, just so I can get it out of the freezer because I can't eat it fast enough before it'll spoil in there. Ibby says you might look into getting a clean burning wood stove. I had my chimney swept last fall, no creosote buildup. That's awesome. It was a first time visit in 4 years, and I heat primarily with wood. Yep. So I am planning on replacing my wood stove. I would like to get a wood cook stove. That is one of the very first things that I would like to do because my stove isn't efficient. And that's another reason why it's hard for me to tell if the roof is doing what it's supposed to or not, is because now that I've moved the chimney to a straight chimney as opposed to having the bins in it. I think it's burning a lot hotter now. So I'm burning through the wood a lot faster. Um, but I also don't think it's an efficient burn. And so I do want to get a better wood stove, but I would also like a wood cook stove. And I know that there are going to be people who say, wood cook stoves are not meant for heating your home. But if you get the right wood stove for the size home that you have, wood cook stove, that is, it can do an okay job of heating as well. And plus, there's some other things that you can do to help hold in some of that heat that it radiates, like, have a stone wall or something like that, or stones even stacked up around it. So we'll see. But a new stove is definitely in the near future. That's for sure. Um, the winch says she's had horses up here. It's very hard in the winter to care for them. Plus, in some areas, there are no vets. Hay is very expensive. Yeah, so there's no vets where I live. If I want to see a vet, um, I might have to go to Glen Ellen, but I think I would actually have to go into the Wasilla area, Palmer or Wasilla, to see a vet for Kenai even. And so I can't even imagine trying to get a livestock vet. That would be very or near impossible. Long Island eggs, 99 cents for the eggs and $7 in taxes. I believe it. I definitely believe it. Yes, finding someone to care for them while you're gone is very hard. Yes, that is the thing. And getting someone to care for them the way that you would care for them is also hard. Good morning, Clint. How are you doing this morning, my funny friend? Eggs in the store, $3.45 a dozen. It's a very specific price. No 99-cent eggs for them. Oh, goodness. Well, when you put it that way, JR, not bad at all. Have you ever encountered something like a Bigfoot? No, not face to face. I'll just say that. And welcome, keeping on. I'm glad you're here. Um, I have seen things here that I can't explain. I've seen things here that don't make any logical or rational sense. And I've heard things here that also don't make any rational sense. But I can't exactly say what they were either because, again, I can't wrap any logic around them. Check the dates and check for freshness on those cheap eggs or on any eggs for that matter. I have a friend who works in a supply chain for a major organic egg company. I won't say which one because I don't want her to be mad at me. But she was telling me that their supply chain is horrific and that the people in their warehouse mix up the lots of eggs all the time And so they can't even do quality control on their eggs, and they can't guarantee you whether the egg that you're getting in the carton that has a certain lot number is really from that particular batch of eggs. So you might be getting older eggs, you might be getting eggs from farm Y when really they came from farm A, and they have no way of tracing it because their supply chain individuals are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I don't trust any of the eggs that you get at the store, really. I still do the float test and put them in a glass of water, and if they float to the top, I'm not eating that egg. And of course, if the egg smells funny, don't eat it also. But yeah, I don't trust the eggs in the store. It's too risky in my opinion. Oh, thank you, Happy Chappy. I'm enjoying you being here. Good way to end a week or start, depending upon your perspective. I hope this continues. I'm pretty sure it's going to continue for a while. I mean, I enjoy it for sure, but we'll see. We'll see if if I get a new job, depending upon what the hours are that I'd be required to work, that might put a damper. Excuse me, I got the hiccups now. That might put a damper on it, but I am enjoying myself as well. So I'm glad that you are as well. Put out chimney fires by Chimfex by Orion Safety Products. Yep. So I have a Chimfex. It's like a flare, like a road flare. You can just pop that into the wood box or the fire box or your wood stove. You don't want to put it directly in the fire, but next to the fire, and dampen down your flue, and close the door, and it should put out your fire. But yes, that is what I have. I also have the crystals that you can just throw in there as well, which will do the same thing. Steve's going to bed. Good night, Steve. Thank you for joining. I owe you, and I appreciate you being here. My bed is warm. My eyelids are heavy. Nice to see you all. Good night. As for alone, blah, blah, blah. We'll see if you show up Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Okay, I'm writing it down right now. Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, I wrote it down. So that's going to be, I got to get it right. Alaska Standard Time is 6. Okay. I'll try to be there. I got to quit making promises. If I break them, that's not good. Oh my goodness, Dewey. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Dewey definitely has a cheat sheet. Soldier or Dave says that he is well and about to set off on one of our forests to quad bike camps. That's awesome. I just wish our forests were big as yours over there, but we can keep the bears and the snakes. Yeah. Well, I don't have any snakes here, so don't bring any. That's the last thing I want. Plus, Nomi is just a kick to watch. He's a kick to watch, and I'm sure he's even more fun when he's in person. That's for sure. Fish wheel and gill net is 500. Dip net is 25 and 10 per house member. Yep. So fish wheel and gill net is 500. But is that on the state level or the federal level? No, that's what my question is. I think we have a drinking problem. Yep. I keep running out. Oh my goodness. There you go. Thank you, Bill, for putting that up. I appreciate it. Rhymes with fine. Oh, time. Okay, good. Thank you. Now I won't forget this time, because that's how I read it, was time. Then I was like, maybe it's not. So thank you very much for putting that back up there for me. I appreciate it. My drinking team had a racing problem back in the 80s. Oh my goodness. I went through 2 cords. John, you're lucky that you're only going through such little wood. But are you also burning any oil or anything like that, John? Um, I tried to join your live stream, but it wouldn't let me chat. No place to chat. Oh, that's not good. Good night, Dahlia. It was nice of you to be here. 1:04 time for sleep. I'm glad you joined. Vroom, vroom, hiccup. Yeah. I always say change your speaking voice and the hiccups will go away, but sometimes that's hard to do. Just enter 2 chords for know me as well. Yeah, I think part of my issue is I have a very big house. Hello there from Australia, Brun Brun, the Garden Lass. I am enjoying your Alaska country. Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad you're here, and I appreciate you enjoying seeing everything we show. So, random fact, I watched a video today about making your own cream cheese. I'm thinking it could be up your alley. Have you done it before? I have not done it before, but considering the amount of heavy cream that I always have on hand, it is something that I've definitely thought about doing. So, I think I'm going to look into it. In fact, I was just thinking about that earlier this week. Um, Not only cream cheese, but other cheeses as well, because I have so much cream. I just need to find out if I can do it after it's been frozen, because sometimes the cream doesn't behave very well when you take it out of the freezer. That's weird. I thought I had it set so anyone could chat. Possibly it was anyone could join, but only subs can chat. I'll look into that. Sorry, my brain's comprehending the whole subs versus anyone chatting. Because I've seen it where only members can join the live, but I didn't realize you could separate it by subs and all, open to everyone. Sorry about my last chat. Use Starlink. It broke up response into pieces. Would think it would be your service, but was mine. I see your smile. Job on horizon. I hope so. I hope there's a job on the horizon. And yeah, my internet service here wouldn't surprise me if it was mine. But it is curious that Starlink broke up your message. That's odd because you wouldn't think Starlink would do that. 33 in Wasilla, no fire tonight. Same here. It's just way too warm. No worries. I'll try to catch the next one. You and me both, Clint. I'll try to be there as well. Oh my goodness. Another live this coming Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So again, 5 o'clock. I will try to be there, but I have to get my taxes done next weekend or next Thursday. So I'm not sure if I'll be on there or not, Bill, but I will try. No promises. If anything, I might be doing it from the parking lot. It's funny how I wish we had snow in Australia, and I'm sure you guys are hoping the warm weather that we have. Maybe the sunny skies, but definitely not the heat. Brun, for sure not the heat. Will canning the meat make it more tender? Potentially, I'm hoping that it will. I'm also hoping that adding some additional ingredients to the canning when I do it will help to flavor it a little bit, since some of it did not have hardly any flavor at all. Import core. I know you said this last time too. Coquitlam, BC, and wore shorts and a t-shirt today. Beautiful here, about 17 degrees Celsius. Oh, that sounds like a nice day, being able to wear shorts and a t-shirt. Nomstead says mass stoves cook food, can have an oven and heat the cabin just fine. Even regular stoves heat cabin just fine. Whoever said that they don't has never used one. Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, I hear it a lot from people though that wood cook stoves are not meant to heat homes; they're just meant for cooking. And I think that's because people think because you're typically using kindling size logs in them, as opposed to, a big honking log. That's why they're not made for heating, but you can still put bigger pieces of wood in them. You just, you might be loading it more often is all. The best stovepipe ever is a 6-inch water well pipe. I have never even heard about that. Water well pipe. One more thing to look into. Food is so expensive these days. I bought some red peppers this week. It was a note on the shelf about delivery problems. It was $5 per pound for peppers. Oh my goodness. I bought 2 big ones, afraid of empty shelves. That is crazy. Hello, Missy Kemp. Nice of you to join tonight. I'm still stuck on that $5 per pound for peppers. I think I'd just do without the peppers at that moment. But I get, the being afraid of the empty shelves thing. Borealis Veterinary in Wasilla is excellent, and they are very affordable. Well, thanks, John. I am writing that down as well. I have not needed to take Kenai to the vet yet, but I know there will be the day and time when that's going to need to be. Hello, Charlotte. Nice of you to join from South Mississippi. I appreciate that. When I worked at the grocery store, they had all the eggs in the warehouse, unrefrigerated, only hit the fridge on the shelf. Yep. I kept my eggs, water glassed in hydrated lime, just on the shelf in the pantry this year. And they did fine, except for when the freeze came. I didn't think that I had lost any, but it turned out that I actually had lost 6 eggs out of all those eggs had frozen. But yeah, I've seen people keep their eggs on the shelf as well, or on the, counter, never refrigerated. And I know that that's very possible if you have a farm fresh egg, but I've seen people do it with store-bought eggs too. I think you just, you run a greater risk when it's a store-bought egg, because you don't know how they were handled before or how old they actually are by the time you get them. The one says that they miss Alaska, had to leave for medical reasons. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Life down south is crazy. I actually still live on Alaska time low. We're just staying today. We would love to come back. Well, Alaska would love to have you back, the winch. If you get the opportunity, I hope you do get to come back. Sadly, we're no longer live that lifestyle. Yep. It's a lifestyle that is unique to Alaska, I think, for the most part. But I am sorry to hear about your health problems, and I hope everything works out for you. Hello, Bob Pop. Nice of you to join. What would your advice to a city dweller who is thinking about going to Alaska? Maybe start out in one of the cities like Anchorage or Fairbanks and explore and see what you like about the more remote or rural areas of Alaska before moving out there. But at least if you're in the city, you'll still have a lot of the conveniences that you might be used to. I think that's one of the hard things for people to give up is the conveniences. Thank you, Terry. I appreciate that very, very much. My first question would be is how old are you and do you have any marketable skill or profession? Yes, that is the other thing is making sure that you have a job. So, Bob, I had done a video, I think it was 2 videos ago. So not this one, excuse me, not this one that I just posted, but one prior to this, where I talked about some of the things that employers in Alaska are requiring just to get your foot in the door, just to get hired on, and some places that to look for jobs here in Alaska. So you might want to go check that out. Maybe Dewey can throw up the link to that video. so that you can, find it easily. But yeah, I would say making sure you have a job before you get up here, or at least making sure that you're in the market to get a job up here. Because if you're in, an industry that isn't very highly, um, I don't know, worked up here, you might have a harder time getting employment, and that can be devastating. At the state level, we own the fish, as they say. Fed applies to commercial. Oh, okay. So yeah, so that's where it's different, is because um so where I'm on the federal part of it. So that makes sense. That makes total sense. Our eggs in Australia have a supply issue as well. I buy mine from a roadside stall for $5 Australian dollars for a dozen. Well, that's not bad then. It's still cheaper than what I'm paying. Thank you, Dewey. I appreciate that as well. Good night, Bill. Thank you for joining. I will try to be there. Like I said, it might be from the parking lot of when I get my taxes done, but I will do my best. And thank you for all your help as always, and thank you for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. Good night, Tyne. I'm glad you made it here tonight. Listening to the cat and the dog snoring is putting me to sleep. Yeah, I'm surprised Kina is not snoring louder as well. Nope, just wood. My cabin is only 360 square feet. And I knew your cabin wasn't, very large, but I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember if you had an oil stove or not. Oops. Yep, John's cabin is a single story too. That has a lot to do with it. Yep. Yep. So it is nice because on this level of the cabin, it is really, really warm. Um, the main level, I'm hardly down there, or at least I wasn't when I, was working full time. So it didn't matter to me that the bottom level was cooler because I was always up here where the heat rises. Your heat is mostly going up the chimney alone. Need some mass. Yep, something to hold that heat in. I agree. I agree completely with that. I have a resolute acclaim. Interesting. I could come back and just read the comments again, but it's easier to read my notes. That's why I'm always writing things down that people recommend. They moved the chat button. Also, the old one doesn't work. Oh, that's interesting. So apart from chickens, a puppy, and a kitten in some time for the future, do you have plans for other animals adding to your herd, like a cow or goat? If I did any animals, I think it would actually be pigs. And they would be pigs for two reasons. One is that they're, goats are too at this, but they're really good at devouring saplings and basically just turning over the land very quickly. But the other thing is, I would like to have Mangalista pigs. Um, they're a red meat pig as opposed to the white meat pig that most of the commercial pig breeds are. And they're very, very tasty. So if I raised anything, it'd probably be pigs. But if I raised goats, they're too puppy like. They have such personalities that I don't know. I wouldn't be able to treat them like livestock. Pigs have personalities too, but um, yeah, I think if I had a goat, I'd want it to be in the house with me. I'd probably let it sleep on the bed even, which I can't really imagine doing, but they're so cute. So Billy Bob says, just remember the different types of bear scat. Black bear is berries and small furry critters. Grizzly scat is mixed with hiking boots, backpacks, and a bear spray cans. Oh my goodness. Oh, what would your ideal online job be? This, honestly, YouTube. YouTube would be my ideal online job. But outside of that, it would be inventory management. Inventory management is what I know and love, but it is a little harder to truly manage inventory when you cannot lay your hands and your eyes on the physical product on the shelf and be able to go back there and audit the cycle counts and things like that. So honestly, I don't know that I would have an ideal um, online job outside of that, but I do love inventory. That's where my forte is at. Would love some heat, but heat is relative for me. Heat wave is temperature 20 degrees Celsius, 60 at 70, over 30 Celsius, and I just can't function. Yeah, for me, it's sorry, that tickle in my throat. For me, it's 50, anything over 50, and I start getting really, really warm. So 68, 70 is a massive heat wave for me. Going to have breakfast now. See you next time. Nice talking to you. Have a good time at breakfast, Charlotte and Dave. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate it. So vegetarian night for us tonight. Broccoli and cauliflower fries, battered barbecue cauliflower bites, and mozzarella bites. Enjoy. When you had mentioned that earlier, I was thinking about, the difference between broccoli and cauliflower. And even as a kid, I was like, I only wanted broccoli if it had cheese on it, but I could eat cauliflower in any way cooked so much better than broccoli, in my opinion. And mozzarella bites sound good too, though, by the way. If you cook like we do alone, the cook stove never goes out all winter. Yep, that's pretty much the wood stove too, because it's like I'm constantly cooking. After all the bragging I've done about 70 and 80-degree weather, I jinxed myself. It's 27 degrees Fahrenheit here this morning. That's karma for you, Clint. Karma. Hi, Prepared. How are you doing? I tried the ball canning recipe for beef stroganoff in a jar. It was so good. We'll be doing lots more. Thicken when you heat up with either a can of undiluted cream or mushroom soup or sour cream. Oh, I love beef stroganoff. I'm going to have to look into that. So I also would like to get one of the older ball canning jar books from like the 70s or the 80s. I think that if I could find one of those, I'd be very, very happy. Looking for a new doctor. Oh my goodness, Mike, you're a crack up. Have you drunk the catnip tea yet? Alone, it's tasty. Nope, not catnip tea. I have not, but I will take your word for it. Hello, JD. Nice of you to join. I'm glad you could be here. Excuse me again. I was eating popcorn before the live started. Now those little tiny bits of popcorn are starting to work their way free. Let's see here. Avoid Anchorage Valley is much better if you need training wheels. Yeah. The valley. So Wasilla, Palmer, Matsu, so you're close, but you're not that close to Anchorage. And I do agree with that. Anchorage is a bit much. It's overwhelming. Even Eagle River is nice. Eagle River is really nice. But Anchorage is a place I kind of try to avoid. There is nothing here in Fairbanks worth bothering you with. It's not what it was even 2 years ago. Oh, that's sad. That is really sad. Thank you, Dewey, for throwing up the link. I am so far behind in these comments. Can't take credit, just air frying. Air frying still something. It's more than some people can do. Oh my goodness. We don't use the J word on the homestead. Get a job. Oh my goodness. Alone. The next time you do your grocery shopping, please make a video of your trip. I definitely plan on it. I intend very much to do so. I should actually, I forgot to add it to the last video because I did actually film while I was in Glen Allen, and I should have added it. I don't know why I didn't do that. Good night, Vicky. Thanks for joining. I'm glad you made it. And I hope you have a wonderful night. And hello, Nat. I'm glad you're here too. I was cracking up at some of your comments earlier that I saw. So you're always a delight. Um, can someone in New Zealand deliver Nat something for me? A swift kick. Oh my goodness. If my health got better, I would find a job. I'm sick of being poor and disabled. Yeah, that would be hard. I'm sorry, but I do hope your health improves. And Mike, thank you for the $25 donation. I appreciate that very much. It is always good when you help out. So thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, Nomstead's had his fair share of health issues as well. I wish you both luck in recovering. Hello, Charlotte. Nice of you to join me tonight. She says that she freezes some eggs. Sometime when I had a lot on hand, scramble them with no problems. When I can meat, it comes out very tender. We have used 3-quart jars of beef stew this week and a jar of taco meat. So I freeze eggs as well, and I freeze them in a couple of different ways. One, I will pre-scramble them and freeze them, and they're just fine. And then others, I will freeze just whites or yolks separately, so that I have some for a recipe if I need just the white or the yolk. Or I will freeze the whole egg, but not have it mixed up. So if I'm going to bake, I can just throw it in. But not having it mixed up, that means I can, whip it in whatever way it needs to be for the recipe on hand. So freezing eggs works very, very well. Dewey. Surprised Dewey hasn't asked me for a cut of the donations yet. I watched a video about dippers today and it said that they are in Alaska and swim underwater. Have you seen any of those? They actually look pretty neat. Are they birds? I have not seen them, but I don't spend a lot of time on the water here yet. Hopefully this summer when I get to go out and go fishing, I will get to see more of the wildlife. That would be awesome. It's great saying hi to y'all, but time to go cook dinner for family. Have a great week full of blessings and new job opportunities. Take care. Good night, Bren. Thank you for joining and enjoy your dinner. I'd starve if I didn't eat meat. That's same here. I could not live on vegetables alone. I do like vegetables, but I could not live on vegetables alone. That's for sure. I live off grid because I'm poor. I couldn't survive otherwise. Oh my goodness. Well, Nomi, you know anybody that would sell me land on payments while I live on them, because the money would be better used other than paying rent. Yep. Rent is never a good thing, in my opinion. It's Mothering Sunday here in the UK, so we'll be cooking for my mom's favorite meal, roast beef and Yorkshire puddings and veg. I'm set prepping veg listening in. Well, I hope that your mother enjoys the meal, and I hope you do too. And roast beef is always good. Hey, Meadow, nice of you to join. Chris is doing the dishes, and I've escaped back to the sewing room to cut out a skirt for a long sleeve top for the coming winter. Fun. That sounds awesome. Have not been to Anchorage in 11 years. You're not missing anything, John. You're not missing anything. I'm sure it hasn't gotten any better in 11 years. That's for sure. See, even Lindsay agrees. Anchorage is a nice little city surrounded by Alaska. Still a city. Yep. Still a city. My job asked me to work this weekend. I told them I couldn't because I'm afraid of commitment. Oh my goodness. Northern lights are on the horizon. Oh, well, I hope they're still shining in about 15 minutes because I would love to see them. and then you worked away anyway, right, Mike? Oh my goodness. Isn't that always the case? Yes, that's important part. Oops. Yes, birds. Um, yeah, I'm wondering if maybe one of the other Alaskans can answer that for you because I know I have not seen them. Good luck on your taxes. I'm expecting the tax notice to come this week. I reduced my hours at work last year, so hopefully I'll get a nice tax return. That would be nice to finally get a good tax return. I think this year because doing YouTube and the little bit of money that I've made from that I'll probably wind up either breaking even this year or I might actually owe money. But we'll see. I'm hoping it's not too much either way. You do way more by visiting a place, move there, and miss everything by living in a place. Best still is to live a life you don't need a vacation from. I agree with that completely. Absolutely. So when I lived in Colorado, my property didn't have any trees on it. And every time I would head home, I was away from the mountains and I kept thinking, oh, I'm heading the wrong direction because I'm getting further and further away from those mountains. And now that I'm here, I have all the trees I could ever possibly want surrounding my cabin. And I get to see those beautiful mountains every time that they're out and not hidden by the clouds. So when they pop out, it's fantastic. But then the other thing is I don't ever want to leave this place. Like I used to want to go camping all the time. So I was in the mountains and in the trees. And now it's like, I don't need to go camping because I'm already here. It's, it's awesome. So I agree with you, Nomi. Live the life that you don't ever need a vacation from. Good night, Happy Chappy. Thanks for joining again and sharing your dinner with me. I do appreciate it. Well, I am going to sign off in about 15 minutes from now. So we got about 15 more minutes and then I am going to call it a night. But I want to thank everybody that joined tonight. It was very nice of all of you to join. This is like way more than I expected for this late on a Saturday night. So I really want to, let everybody know that I appreciate each and every one of you. Ivy says, couldn't agree more. Last year was the first year I had a polytunnel and I've learned to garden. Really enjoy it. Yep. I want to get a polytunnel as well, a high tunnel. Good night, Lindsay. I appreciate you being here. Good morning, Captain Bluefin. How are you doing from Caribou, Maine? Nice of you to join. You signed on, and I will be here for about another 15 minutes, but I'm glad you're here nonetheless. My moderator saying she wants overtime pay. Oh my goodness, she doesn't get paid at all. So you can have all the overtime pay. I'll double your current salary. Nice to know where everyone is from on the Saturday Night Live. I agree. It's really cool to see where everybody's from. And that I have people from all over the world coming to check out the live. That's pretty awesome. Like Ellie here from Santa Barbara. Thank you for joining, Ellie. I appreciate you being here tonight. And I'm glad you're doing great, Captain Bluefin. And I'm glad you're glad to be here. Good to be here. It's good that you are here. So it's been a riot. So for anybody who missed the live, these are recorded and you can always go back and watch them on the channel after the fact. I know it might not be as interesting when you can't join in the conversation, but there's a lot of laughter and a lot of fun going on in the live streams for sure. Good night, Missy. Have a good evening. I hope that your night goes well. The dipper, North America's only aquatic songbird, is one of my 5 species. Is only one of 5 species of dipper in the world. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to look those up. a little rabbit hole to go down for me. Hello, Frida Smith. How are you? I learned a lot about fish tonight. Greetings from Belgium. Me too. I learned a lot also. Junior, North Idaho, 30 miles from the Canadian border. About job. I was asked to work full time from now until July. I said no, can't go through the hard months and then just be at work and no time to enjoy the days and garden come to life. I agree. I mean, that's kind of the reason why, when you're saying what's my ideal online job, and I said YouTube, um, because I put so many hours in. I worked 16-hour days for years. Um, that I kind of want time to like live my life and to have the time to actually garden and actually go out and do things and actually see outside my windows once in a while. There was a comment made about how pale I am, and I'm like, yeah, I have not seen the sun in 7 months because all the windows are covered up with insulation. I'm, working in front of the computers, long days and nights, and when you don't see the sun, you're not getting, a tan by any means, that's for sure. So I hope that you get to enjoy all your time, IB. I really do. South Australia here for anyone who hasn't seen me here before. Oh, yeah. Dewey, you should throw up Hey Meadows channel link if you haven't already. She has a very wonderful channel, and I think, there are a lot of people that would enjoy it. I left the workforce March 2022 due to medical issues. Was a heavy truck technician for 30 years. Part of me misses it, and then the other part of me is happy not having to deal with the stress, etc. Yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for. But I think a lot of times for myself, it is self-induced stress because I just want to make sure that I'm doing everything I possibly can and trying to make sure that everybody else is taken care of and that they don't need anything from me, that I wind up working myself into a frenzy sometimes. In my own head, hopefully I'm not showing that outwardly to my coworkers, but inside I'm always like, oh my goodness, do they need something? Oh my goodness. And you do have that pressure coming from up above as well. But I think a lot of times the stress I put on myself is way worse. So I'm hoping that I can make, either find a job that I don't feel like that I have that need to be so over the top attentive to everybody and everything, or that I can just do YouTube and have that be my profession for, the next few years until I can actually retire. That would be awesome. I've been loving all of your videos. You are so brave and I admire you following your dreams. Thank you, Ellie. I appreciate that. I really, really do. That is awesome. Thank you. I don't know if I'm brave or just too stubborn to realize what I'm gotten myself into, but I appreciate the compliment nonetheless. And there's Hey Meadows channel link. Thank you, Dewey, for doing that. I appreciate it. Good night, John. Thank you for being here. Nice area. Considered that area for a move a while back. So this was what he was saying. North Idaho, 30 miles from the Canadian border. And it is absolutely beautiful up there. North Idaho is a fantastic place, in my opinion. I actually love Coeur d'Alene. Well, I love Coeur d'Alene in the morning before all the tourists wake up. Once all the tourists wake up, then it's no longer the sleepy little point town that it is at, 6 o'clock in the morning. We have dippers in Norway too, our national bird. Oh, that's pretty cool. It is beautiful. Yep. Lived in Anchorage since 1973. Hello, Lips. How are you doing? I am glad that you are here tonight. Hello, Michael. Nice you to join. Love that other Alaskan YouTubers always join your live streams. You all keep up the good work. Thank you. I love that they join too. They provide a wealth of information and entertainment, and I'm very happy to have them as my comrades. People with a tan stand out around these parts. Yes, very much so. Billy Bob, in the city, on the river. You're welcome, Hey Meadow. Yep, it's a sewing channel. Yep. So everyone won't be everyone's cup of tea, but if you like a laugh and an Aussie accent, drop by and say hi. Yep. I'm glad that I caught your live stream, says Charles. Hello, Charles. Thanks for being here. It had helped the time pass. I'm a long haul driver. Well, good. I'm glad that it's keeping you awake and helping the hours go by. Tan equals tourist. Yes, exactly. I saw something. I wish I remembered what it was. Something while I was in town that made me think that, okay, that's a tourist. That's not. Oh, it was somebody that was bundled up. Um, when I was in Anchorage, they were, completely big, heavy coat on and everything. And I'm like, it's not even cold. So I was like, that's got to be somebody from out of town. Good night, Daniel. Thank you for being here tonight. I hope that you had a good night. Away from the city, yes, but not on the river. If I followed my dreams, I'd always be at the refrigerator. Oh my goodness. That's if I followed my gut. If I followed my gut instincts, I'd be at the refrigerator too. Oh my goodness. I used to fly into Coeur d'Alene a lot for a well-known person. Well-known, huh? Coeur d'Alene is, like I said, it is really beautiful. And so is Hamilton. At least, the drive back along the south side of Coeur d'Alene, Lake Coeur d'Alene. But uh, yeah, I would live in Coeur d'Alene right on the lake if there wasn't that tax that you have to pay to have a view of the lake. That tax is ridiculous, but it's a beautiful little town. Veg all prepped for dinner, off to hang out washing. Thanks for another great live alone, everyone who took part. Well, thank you for being here, KMD. We all appreciate you being here. That's for sure. Good morning and good evening, Treasure. I know you were saying you weren't sure we're going to be able to be here for the whole thing, but I hope you were. And if not, I hope to see you on the next one. Well, I guess I'll be standing out when I get there, Nomi. Add blonde hair and an Aussie accent, and it'll be extra value. Oh my goodness. Umbrellas, also tourist. Yes. Prefer Atoll. Yeah. I'm not sure where Atoll is at, actually, now that I'm like thinking about it. But I love North Idaho either way. Anything right there along the Canadian border is just really beautiful. Water ozels or dippers are very comfortable in the water. They are even known to be capable swimmers, ready to take a dip in streams. That's pretty cool. I've seen them on TV before, but I didn't actually know that was their name. But now when I go to the water's edge, I'm definitely going to be looking for them. Kootenai County is going to pieces. That's not good. That is not good at all. Between Coeur d'Alene and Sandpoint. Oh, okay. Yeah, and Sandpoint's huge. Sandpoint's beautiful as well, but it is a big, big area. Well, I just have a couple minutes left, so I'm going to go ahead and start saying night to everybody that is still on here. And hopefully everyone has had a great time tonight. And I hope that you guys will join me again for the future lives. And that if you haven't seen this week's video, that you have a moment to sit back and watch it and enjoy. It's just a short one this week, only about, I think, 12, 13 minutes. So won't take up too much of your time to watch. But I really appreciate all of you joining in the chat. And even those of you who might just be watching and not chatting, I appreciate you watching as well. And I hope to see you guys again on the very next one. People in Sandpoint have messed it up. Oh, that's sad. In Norway, they are calling Fuskal, meaning waterfall call. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'm really going to go look up the bird now. This is the thing that I do. I hear something and I just research it to no end. Hey Meadow says, glad I caught you. Just say hi. Wish you a great rest of the weekend and a successful week. Thank you very much. And same to you. I hope that you have a fantastic weekend and get lots of sewing done. I hope to start some sewing here in a couple of weeks, if not sooner. Good night, Nomstead. Sweet dreams to you too. Good night, Mike. And Kenai will say good night to you, I'm sure, here in a moment when I wake him up. And Dewey is signing off. Thank you for your help, Dewey. I really appreciate it. You're the best. Hi, Clint. Clint says, good night, everyone. Had fun again. Everyone, please stay safe. Yes, stay safe, everyone, please. It's the least you can do. And JR, see y'all on Monday. Thanks, JR. You're a fantastic. I appreciate it. Liv says, good night, Mr. or Mrs. Kolbash, wherever you are. Thanks for staying up late for us alone. Anytime, Happy Chappy. I am more than happy to do it. Coeur d'Alene and Athol are in Kootenai County. Sandpoint is in Bonner. Yep. And I'm in the great county of Boundary. I'm trying to think what other towns are in Boundary. But I do love North Idaho nonetheless. Say goodnight, Gracie. Oh my goodness. Now you got my brain going. And you made me what's that called? Glitch. Hey Seashell, good night. Thanks for being here tonight. And Weed Eater, I appreciate you being here. And Mike, I know I already said good night to you, but I'm gonna say it again. And good night, Ivy. I'm glad that you're here tonight. Good night, Alone. It's 10 a.m. here. Or I should say good morning to you. So the dogs are ready for a little walk. We'll use my kick sled as it's icy outside today. Yes, be careful. Be very, very careful. See y'all on the YouTubers. Good night, Weed Eater. Have a peaceful sleep and hope to catch your next live on Monday. I hope to see you there. And good night, Sue Ellen. Good night, John Boy. Good night, Alone. Y'all sleep well now. Come on back now, you hear? Night, everyone.